Yeah, there's nothing stopping you other than the fact that you guys are just into destroying each other. No, now it's going to get quiet. I see all that sneaky shit you do. Ladies, if you could just support the WNBA the way you support a fat chick that's proud of her body and is no longer a threat to you, you know, that league would be doing better numbers than the NBA. Oh my God. That's one of the saddest things I've ever seen. Oh my God, you're a goddess. You're gorgeous. You look great in that bikini. I would kill myself if I looked like that. Keep eating. Keep eating. Lose a toe, you fat bitch. It's just... You saw an alcoholic where you'd be like, oh my God, look at you. You're face down, passed out. Your kids are crying. You're a hero. You're a god. Keep doing what you're doing. You'd be like, dude, you need to get your fucking shit together. Get off the sauce. I will say, that's one of the most genius things I've ever seen. How regular-looking women somehow mind-fucked advertising to get beautiful women off of billboards. Yeah, just regular fucking who-gives-a-shit-looking women, right? I'm just being honest. Come on, we're outside. We're in the woods. We can be honest. Just regular, who gives a fuck? Can't remember a name, looking women, right? Well, looking at these goddesses, and they had to fucking be the... How am I supposed to compete with that? You can't! How fucking arrogant are you? I don't see Brad Pitt when he takes his shirt off in a movie and, oh, great, how am I supposed to compete with that? I can't. I am an ugly, bald, orange man. I need to write jokes. I gotta put a lampshade on my head. I know what my role is, okay? I should be on the ground gazing up at people better looking than me. I don't know, ladies. This is supposed to be like an inspirational talk. I don't know if it's coming through this way. I'm trying to say, you really like... If you get through all the misdirected anger of my childhood, I'm trying to say, you're smarter than we are, and there's more of you. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I'm trying to be, I don't know, trying to be a better person during all of this shit, you know? I am. You know, I got this new thing, man. I try to help out homeless people. You know? I used to, you know, sometimes I help them out, sometimes I don't. You know, it's like the mood you're in, how much they freak you out, you know? So, this is what I do. This is how you know, you got to do something because, I don't know, people at the top don't seem to be doing anything. I try to bring all my old clothes down to the tent cities to give it to them. All right? It's a good thing to do, but I got to tell you something. You got to do it during the day. All right? You want to do it during the day. When they're tired from Thunderdome the night before, they're coming down from whatever they're on, realizing there's a nail in their shoulder. You want to get them when they're tired. You don't go at night. No one's going to see you again. You're going to end up on a fucking spit. I mean, you're under an overpass. You never know what can happen, okay? I'm just warning you, because they don't make homeless people the way they made them when I was a kid. You know? When I was a kid, a homeless guy was a bum, he was a vagrant, somebody down on his luck or whatever, you know, a wino. They didn't have this Shutter Island shit going on that they had out there, like people talking to trees. You're like right here having like Eggs Benedict. He's like looking through a porthole over your cabbage. Yeah. When I was a kid, you could only be crazy outside for about 15 minutes before a van would pull up and two guys in nurses' outfits would just come walking out. Hey, buddy, how's it going? You're making a lot of racket out here, aren't you? Why don't you do me a favor? Try this shirt on. You're like, okay. How come the sleeves are so long? Oh, because we're going to tie your arms behind your back because you're out of your fucking mind. That's it. I'm not going to have you out here scaring the shit out of people. Get in the fucking van. Then you got in the van, and that was it. They send you to a nut house. That's it. Boom, bam, done. Nut house. But the problem was the people at the nut houses started fucking the patients because everybody knows crazy people are great in bed, right? So they're banging away, right? Hey, it happened. You're groaning history, all right? You can shake your heads all you want, all right? But hey, They fucked those people, all right? And they were banging away, doctors with their fucking lab coats flapping in the wind, just banging away until finally, for decades, finally somebody with a heart came walking in like, hey, what the fuck is going on? And then they shut it down, and then they just let all these people go. They all came running out like Mike Myers jumping up on station wagons and shit. So that's the thing. You go during the day. And I gotta tell you, when I pull up to one of these 10 cities, I always feel good about myself. I'm good, man, helping out a fellow American. I would want them to do that for me. It's fucking ridiculous. People have to live like that. That's what I think when I'm in the car. And then the second I get out and that smell hits me, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Jesus Christ, these people are animals, right? I would equate it to the same feeling you probably get if you were on a safari and you're in the Land Rover and you look over and you see like a leopard. You're like, ah, look at that leopard over there. Ah, right? Then all of a sudden you go over a bump and you fall out of the fucking Range Rover. You're like, oh, fuck, that's a leopard. Yeah, so I pull up and I'm feeling like, you know, fucking Uncle Sam. And then I get out of the car. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck am I doing? I start walking like this. There's always like some sort of movement going on, somebody fucking limping across the street or something. And I've never been able to get close enough to talk really to anybody. You know, like they do on the news. You know, like, Jesus, you've been sitting in here, you know, for a couple of months. What is it like to be inside of this tent? I always wondered how many people they had to choke out before they could get that fucking interview. You know, just coming in, blow darts, numbing up everybody else. Building a perimeter. So what I do is I get about 30 yards away, and then I start walking like this, and I chicken out. I always chicken out. 30 yards away, I just go, free shirts! I run back to the car, and that's when your brain starts playing tricks on you. Like I'm convinced somebody just came running out of the tent with like a 2x4, running after me. So what I always do is I always do a lap around my car before I get in it, you know? Because homeless people have horrible lateral movement. You know, from all those years of sleeping on the sidewalk, their hips are just junk, you know, like an NFL running back. They gotta slow down like a cruise ship, like go right up and over the horizon. So in that time, you go around your car, you get your car, you drive away. You drive away. Your closet's a little more empty. You can go out, you can fill it back up again with shit you don't fucking need, you know, that's what you do. What's that, sir? America, yeah, America. Don't think. Just do what you want to do. Take your dick out. You know? I'll tell you, that's what George Washington was talking about. You know? They really need to shut down the internet. They have to shut it. We are clearly too stupid to all be sharing ideas in this giant towny bar that we've created. You guys are all cheering. You're all on the internet just like me. I was on the internet for 6 hours last night. Trying to figure out what kills a beaver, you know? Does a beaver have a natural predator? No, that's the thing. Really is, that's the thing. I hate that saying there's no reason. Obviously, I'm not saying to hit a woman, you know? But saying there's no reason, I think that's crazy. When you say there's no reason, that kills any sort of examination as to how two people ended up at that place. If you say there's no reason, you cut out the build-up, you're just left with the act. How are you going to solve it if you don't figure it out? Look how awkward it is in here right now. I said you shouldn't hit a woman. I'm just saying, how come you can't ask questions? You can only ask questions about what the guy did. You can never ask about the woman. Why is that? Why is that? What is that? What does answer him right mean? What does that mean? Are you the idiot who got up halfway through the special during the bit and you're like walking around like I'm not fucking taping a special here? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Fucking had to ignore all of that, and now you're gonna like yell out, and not only that, yell something that makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Answer him! Answer him! Every fucking special I do, there's always one. Always right down the fucking middle. Talking about hitting women, sweetheart. And I think you just added another reason. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm not even in a relationship with her, and she's fucking nagging me. Fucking unbelievable. Look, I
understand hitting a woman's a bad thing, okay? Well, how come you can't fucking ask questions? I just don't understand. Like, if I got bit by a rattlesnake, wouldn't you guys have some questions? Right? How did it happen? Did you not see it? Were you fucking with it? How did this snake get so mad it almost killed you? Firemen put out a fire. They don't just drive away afterwards. They sift through the debris. How did it start? Here's an oily rag, right? Look, I realize I'm coming off pretty ignorant right about now. I realize that. Let me extend an olive branch then, okay? I realize that there's some animal guys out there, okay? Horrible guys, you know, have a rough day at the factory, come home, tuna casserole, and just start swinging, all right? I'm not trying to say that those people don't exist. I realize they exist. They should be buried underneath the prison, okay? So if I can admit that, ladies, can you at least admit that every ass-kicking doesn't just fall out of the fucking sky? Really? Even hockey has 2 minutes for instigating, right? They understand that some back and forth happened before that shit, you know? You know what it is? Is every case is handled like that Rihanna one, where they just say, the guy's a piece of shit, fuck this guy, blah, 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 send him to jail, and then they never ask anything about that. You know, I'm not saying he should have done it, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Dude, in your heart of hearts, what do you think was going down before that happened? You think she was just sitting there going, oh my God, Baskin Robbins, you want to get some ice cream? You know? Or do you think maybe they were having some epic end of the relationship fight and some crazy shit was being said? Maybe she was screaming in his ear some crazy female shit like, oh, fuck all your friends, I don't give a fuck. Maybe that's why I sell more albums than you, motherfucker. Right? To be fair, she could have just been sitting there going, I need a tissue. Do you keep those in the glove box? Oh my God, I'll bring my out. I'll bring my out. Now, fuck that, because you know what it is? They never address how women argue, which I think is a core of a lot of that shit. You know? And I gotta tell you something, man. Like, I never knew how women argued. But after 20 years of losing every significant battle in a relationship, I finally figured out how they argued. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm starting to turn this franchise around. I have begun a winning tradition. This is how they argue, as far as I can tell. All right? If they're right, they argue the point. And they stay on point and make sure you stay on point until you're down on your knees, apologizing, begging for forgiveness. All right? No problem with that. Totally respect it. But here's the thing. If they're wrong, they go rogue. They go off-road. They start thinking of shit you're sensitive about. Maybe you don't get along with your dad. And in their head, they just start concocting this evil statement. Totally designed. This desperate Hail Mary attempt to make you so fucking mad, you just call them a cunt. That's what it is. And cunt trumps all the bullshit they did to start the argument. Now it's not about that one. That's no reason to call me a cunt. And then that's it. You're in this room now, right? My girl knows my big thing is, my big fear in life is to be that dude who grows old, you know, grows old alone, has like that basement apartment, just screaming up at the younger couple, turn it down! That isn't music! So I noticed that anytime she was losing a fight, out of nowhere, she'd just be like, well, that's why you're just gonna grow old and be alone. Then I'd lose my shit. The next thing you know, I'm in the kitchen washing dishes for the 9th fucking time in a row. This is what the argument was about. I was so right. What happened? So if you learn anything from my ignorance tonight, just know this. Next time you're in a battle with your beautiful woman, your wife, girlfriend, whatever, and they start out of nowhere, okay? You're winning and they just start saying that crazy shit out of nowhere. Just know in that moment you've won the fight, okay? All right? Don't get mad. Bob and weave, slip all of that shit. Maybe because you got a little dick. Just let that slide. Stay in the pocket of the argument. Okay? It's over. The argument is over. You've won. Just take a knee and run out the clock. All right? Yes. Lean on the ropes. Let them punch themselves out. And then in the end, you throw their psychology right back at them. Well, maybe we should discuss it later when you calm down. And they won't hook up with you for a couple of days. Who cares? Who cares? You rub one out. Rub one out like a man. It's the champagne of victory. Oh, so I've learned. I finally learned to, like, keep my cool.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to shit. I don't know what's going on, right? I feel like that. I mean, I kind of know what's going on. Like, I know Gaza Strip, that's still going, right? Yeah, all right. Okay, that's going on. Well, did you pick a side? Who deserves to live more, right? I hate that shit. well, these kids, they more line up with our foreign policy than these kids over here. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know. How the fuck is war still legal in 2024? Can you explain that to me? Like, I don't want these Oprah Winfrey applause breaks. Stop doing that. I'm just asking the question. All right? I mean, as a comedian, I can't call a fat fuck anymore. All right? Even if he took my last slice of pizza and is denying it with pepperoni on his breath, I can't be like, you fat, man-titted cunt. I know what you did. Own up to it. Everybody's like, all right, well, he took your pizza, but that's like no reason to body shame. I mean, It's like, yeah, it is. I can't get the fucking pizza back. At least I can make him feel bad about himself. All right? Yeah, I'm not allowed to do that, but it's still socially acceptable to shoot a missile in the general direction of somebody you're upset with. You're like, dude, there was like kids over there. This is my favorite response. Well, you know, they're using kids as human shields. It's like, well, you got to work around that. Jesus Christ, if I'm mad at my neighbor and I want to beat the shit out of him, but he's holding a baby, right? I wouldn't come in and try to punch him through the baby. Yeah, you go in, you know, you throw a hook, you sweep the legs. You do it on the lawn so the baby bounces off the grass, all right? There's fucking rules to this shit. I do think it's hilarious that college kids are all freaking out, you know, fucking supporting the Palestinians. How dare the Israelis do what our country has been doing for 20 years? What the fuck? You don't do that shit, we do.
When did you start shaving your head? It looks good.
When did I start shaving? I shaved it. I had my first special. I had it shaved.
Really? I didn't.
Yeah.
When I saw you in New York
I'm
for the
glad
Patrice thing.
you liked it.
I
see you
like
losing
it.
the roof there in the back.
Yeah,
You'll be
a
right
little
there with
bit,
me.
little bit. I'll be there
We'll
soon.
do a buddy cop show.
Exactly.
Right? Two balding old guys
Exactly.
going after some hairy criminal. I'm not a big fan of Steve Jobs, personally.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I just don't understand what the big deal was with that guy. I don't get it.
He's like Edison. I don't know. He invented all this stuff to everybody. What are you talking about?
Did he? Did he sit down and like, I'm going to invent the iPhone and just sat there soldering, possibly welding, right? Didn't he have like a crew of guys helping him out?
Sure, maybe he did.
So why, when he went to those nerd fests, didn't he have like a chorus of scientists behind him who helped him out too? He walked out like he was Tesla. Like tapping into electricity.
I'm not with you.
I think he just kind of like told people what to invent. Like he just kind of came in like, I want my whole music collection in that phone. Get on it! And then all these nameless, faceless guys made it happen.
Yeah.
And then they have the big nerd concert and he goes out there by himself. No belt, you know, sneakers on. I just didn't buy it.
When you took it out on Philly, because they were a bad crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Your famous rant,
Yep.
which you've since said you like Philadelphia, and that wasn't the issue. You were just giving...
People in Philly don't even remember. Basically, if you haven't seen it, I was doing a show for the Opie and Anthony radio program, and they had this show called The Traveling Virus, and we were doing these, like, 10,000 seaters, and we went to Philly, and they're notorious for booing people, and they booed the first guy off stage, and I went on, like, 3 hours after that. So by the time I got up there, it was a complete shit show. And... I don't know. They started booing, and I snapped and decided I wasn't going to leave, and I just attacked everything that they loved.
Can women be funny?
Yeah, of course. Will you guys just fucking grow up and just sit down and write your own horse shit and come up with it? Start your own fucking show. Have your own award show. Quit waiting around for other people to do shit for you. That's the fucking problem. If you guys had your own big club and I was standing outside of it, you'd never fucking let me in. I'd start my own shit. You guys got to start your own shit. You got brains in there, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So write your own shit and quit your fucking whining. We're all eating a giant shit sandwich out here. Nobody cares. I don't care. Well, when was the last time you went on stage and you killed so hard the person after you bombed? If you're fucking doing that on a regular basis, people are going to notice regardless of what you have between your legs. Yeah, at some point I was going to make a point here. That's why I keep looking at here, and I just realized I'm blocking myself out of the camera. I love that you have the jib camera for this like it's an action movie. Let's swoop in at these two guys sitting in these unbelievably small chairs. I literally feel like I'm gonna fall onto the floor. This is insane. You really went all out with the audience, though. They got full-size adult chairs. Are these like from the 20s before they had like horse tranquilizers in our food and everybody was like 5'1"? Yeah.
And nothing's making you mad? Nothing.
Oh, things upset me. Yes. I don't know. I don't want to look. I fly a lot, and there's this whole new thing of generation of people that take their socks and their shoes off on the plane. You got to look at their smelly feet, and then they'll literally stand up and they will walk into a commercial airline bathroom. Yeah, use it and then walk and sit back down again.
That's not right.
Yeah, if I was a dictator, those people would be eliminated. I love this dude texting for the entire interview. It's just trying to keep the attentions on millennials. It's like impossible. Look at him. He's already got the chains. He's probably got his own record label. He's like making deals as we speak. He's got championship rings on. I don't know what you're doing, dude, but I want your life, man. You're crushing it.
So are you in the process?
I cannot get comfortable in this fucking chair. This is just like one of the worst things. This should be like in a museum, is like the prototype. This is what... This was the awful level of comfort. We went from a log to this, and then eventually they got cushions. It's another guy looking at his phone. I swear to God. Dude, the day Jesus comes back, if he ever does, if he's even a real person, like 90% of people are going to miss it. They're going to walk right. He's going to be walking on water, and they're immediately walking by him and not even going to see it. Oh, yeah, and there's a drop-off in fame for Jesus at that point. Everyone was paying attention. Now no one gives a shit. Oh, there we go. No, but now this is like the ego one. Now I'm going to be sitting above you.
Yeah,
you got to come with two. It's fine. It's fine. Sir, the one comedy through line that's working here is me shitting on this chair. Why would you take that from me? You're just totally going against the grain. I understand it. But you got on camera, so I think you get paid, even though this is online.
You see Sugar Shea Mosley, one of the greatest boxers of all time, he's losing his championship belt in a divorce. Losing, yeah. It's like you're trying to break a man. Why does she want those? Right?
Gonna break a man.
They go with their shoes. You know? No, and I love how when you get a divorce, all of a sudden it costs like 50 grand a month to give a kid Fruit Loops. Right? These guys, I'm telling you, there is an epidemic of gold-digging whores in this country, and it is just not being addressed.
We recently got a pit bull, which I know a lot of people don't like because they ate a couple of kids. I understand. They're great dogs, unless you're a bad owner. If you're a psycho, which I am, you can mess them up. I didn't realize that dogs feed off your vibes. No. Like if you're cool, if you're chill, they're chilling. If you're sleeping, they're sleeping. But if you're a psycho like me and you're watching the game on TV and you're screaming at the ref like, you gotta be shitting me! I didn't realize the dog was in the corner being like, yeah, you gotta be shitting.
Being a mother is the hardest job out there.
Most difficult job, and Oprah said that.
Oprah said that, yeah. Has your opinion on that phrase changed at all since you've had a kid?
No. It's not the most difficult job on the planet. It just isn't. Dude, I did roofing in July. As a redhead, I almost died. There's people that work on like oil. What was that movie that guy made? The fucking, they drill oil. What is it?
There Will Be Blood?
There Will Be Blood. Out in the ocean, they would drill. I can never remember the names.
Deepwater.
Mark Wahlberg was
Deepwater Horizon, yeah.
Those guys were working on an oil rig. The fucking thing blows up. They're on fire. They got to jump into water that's on fire. Salty water into their wounds. You got to swim out of that oil and fire and then tread water, praying to God that the Coast Guard is going to get there before the sharks do. Now talk to me about a toddler. Oh, he was so fussy today. He wouldn't eat his peas.
So what's up with all these white kids now walking around trying to act like they're like gangster rappers? It's irritating. It's like everywhere I go, man, I figure I'd just be here in the city where you got a good mix of people. I'll be like in the middle of Kansas, though. Like the whitest state ever. There'll be some howdy-doody looking white kid like me. You know, I'm thinking this is one of my peeps, somebody I can have a conversation with. All of a sudden she's like, yo, what's up, kid? What's up, kid? I just want to be like, nothing much, Brad. You know, you keeping it real in Wichita? How the fuck are you going to be a gangster in a state, say, like Nebraska? You know, wouldn't you be like all hardcore about your crop? Just in there, yo, shit was crazy, you know what I'm saying? My fucking corn wasn't wrong, my fucking scarecrow was tipping over and shit, you know what I'm saying, son? I just want to be like, dude, you're white. Go to the Gap, give into it. Buy some Dockers, and come home. I've been going to gun stores, and...
Oh, my God.
And these rednecks are all telling me the same thing, because I didn't grow up with guns. So they're just going, all right, you never had a gun, you want to get yourself a shotgun. It's got a great spread. That's what they keep saying. It's got a great spread. You don't even got to aim it. You got a problem, you just sort of whip around. You get the guy, right? I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude, I just want to shoot the guy. I don't have to do like a bunch of drywall work. Like, reframe my diploma. So.
Again. Why can't Mom make dinner?
Ask her. She's the one who abandoned her post. Now after doing all the lady work, I gotta leave to go do some man work. And is anybody gonna get me flowers and tell me I'm beautiful? No. No one's out there marching for old Frank Murphy. He just watches the sands of his miserable life gather at his feet while his wife, the modern woman, throws on a pantsuit every morning and just... There's my worker bee.
What is your go-to dance move when challenged?
Waiting for the director to say cut. That was my go-to dance move.
Well, I'll tell you, when I saw my kid, it wasn't, I didn't have, like, everybody was like, you're going to burst down crying, you're going to blah, blah, blah. I was, like, scared of it. Like, I was just sitting there like, hey, yeah, buddy, like, I didn't want to touch it. And then, like, afterwards, they give it to me, and I'm hanging with her for the first time, and I'm feeling nothing. And I literally put my head down on the bassinet. I'm going, oh, my God, I'm a serial killer. Like, I don't feel things.
Fool yourself because I was, like, Googling the show.
No, God knows.
I was Googling the show.
I get trashed enough on Twitter. Do you know when I did the show last night? This is how like the millennials are, right? Somebody, I was wearing this exact same thing. You know, I'm on the road, so I got a nice stain on my shirt. So I was wearing this exact same thing. I go on Twitter, and somebody wrote, you know, Bill Burr last night dressed like an out-of-shape Jerry Seinfeld.
What?
So, like... Yeah, I wrote back. I can't say what I wrote back. I wrote back.
You did?
You so-and-so. Yeah, it's like, why don't you heckle me when you're there?
And as luck would have it, I was in New York City in June, which I quickly found out was Gay Pride Month. The whole month. And let me tell you something, the gay guys show up strong. It is wall to wall. The fucking island is almost tipping over. There's so many of them. And I'm sitting there like going, oh my God, 30 days of this shit? I'm walking around with this orange Freddie Mercury fucking dick broom on my face. I am going to be getting harassed up and down the street. I was in actor shape, man. I was fucking shredded. I got to tell you something, man. When I tell you 30 days of June, not one gay guy even fucking looked at me. Forget about even hit on me. I have never felt so old and undesirable in my life. Dude, I'm gonna tell you something. It's this one thing as a man, when you get so old that women don't look at you anymore, like you know you're gonna hit that age. You know that day's coming, but nobody tells you at some point you're gonna get so old, not even a man wants to fuck you, right? Dude, that is a statement. When you get so old, some queen in his 60s is like, keep it moving, I can do better than that. Jesus Christ. Get some fucking hair plugs or something. Get a spray tan. I can get some in its 40s. Go on. Keep going. Dude, it was like, I was like having like this fucking panic attack. I was thinking like, oh my God, I waited too long to get married. I had kids too late. I'm going to die soon. I was like literally like wrapping up my life, you know? So I'm walking down like 9th Avenue, you know, putting a little swish in my fucking step, just trying to get something. I was desperate. Fuck you ladies, you've been there. You know how it is. You want to think you got one more in you, you know? So I'm tra-la-la down the street. I really wish that wasn't the truth. So I'm going down 9th Avenue, and all of a sudden I looked up, and about 2 blocks away, all of a sudden I see this lesbian coming up the block, okay? Now I know this is Boulder, Colorado, right? So you guys are all like, fucking, hey man, you know? Like, how did you like know she was a lesbian, man? Like, that's not cool. You just looked at her and you just knew she was a lesbian? You don't know her. How do you just know somebody's a lesbian? Easy. The same way you do. The same way other lesbians do. It's not calculus. No, but I get it. I understand in 2021 you're not allowed to say you know what a lesbian looks like, right? Judging by your silence, yes, right? Yeah, you're not allowed, right? But what's funny, if some white kid came in here like 20 years old, hair slicked back, collar pop, loafers, no socks, you'd be looking at him thinking like, all right, frat boy, date rapist, his dad's a judge, he's not going to jail. Yeah, just killed 5 people in a drinking and driving accident, already has a new Dodge Challenger on the way, right? Yeah, you're allowed to see that. That you can see, clear as day. Lesbian, no, but that's how progressive you guys are, right? You don't have any idea, right? Like, let's play a game. I'll just name different people you see and see the slides that come into your head, right? Construction worker, sports fan, painter, skateboarder, lesbian. Right? It all goes blank. Is that a lesbian? Am I I mean, I have gay friends, but I've never noticed any sort of a through line. Listen, people, I'm not saying all lesbians look alike. I would never say some ignorant shit like that. However, I am saying, though, every once in a while, there's a fucking layup. Right? Flat top, wallet chain, fucking walking up the street. Right? But even then, I'm not saying 100%. But gun to my head, I gotta go lesbian. Gotta go lesbian. Final answer, show me lesbian. Right? So, anyway, she's fucking walking up the street. I'm coming down, right? And it's clear to me that if we keep walking the way we're walking, we're gonna bump into each other. Now, I don't want to bump into a woman. I don't want to bump into anybody in New York. So I do the gentlemanly thing. I clock what's going on. So what I do is I just gradually shift over into my own lane. Now everything's fine, right? But then the weirdest thing happened. We walk like another 30 yards, and all of a sudden, she drifts back into my lane again. And I'm sitting there walking like, wow, that's kind of crazy. Thought I solved this problem. All right, so I fucking dip into another lane again, right? Okay, I'm walking. We go another 30 yards. She comes back into my lane again. So now, like, I'm up against the curb. So now I'm, like, thinking, like, okay, how do I do the politically correct math here? Like, what am I supposed to be doing here? Am I supposed to, like, am I supposed to step off into the bike lane and have some young kid on his electric bicycle come by, 40 miles an hour, run me over? I go down to the pavement, knees and elbows. And for the rest of my life, every time it rains, I got to think about this lesbian that walked me off the fucking block? Is that what I'm supposed to do? Am I supposed to give up the whole sidewalk? Like, oh, your gayness? Right? Or do I stiffen up my shoulder and protect my lane? Right? Now, I'm not proud of this, but I chose the latter. All right? I was like, look, I'm 53. I moved twice. I have an AARP card. I'm the fucking victim here. So I stiffen up the shoulder, and then immediately I'm thinking, like, okay, this is going to get crazy. I have never done this with a female before. This is in public. People are going to see this shit. What's going to happen, right? But I'm not going to lie to you. She started closing in. She was moving, so I, like, leaned in. Like, I really got my legs underneath me because she was built like a janitor, and I was not going to get spun around. I wasn't getting spun around, not having that on the fucking logbook, right? So I leaned into this shit, and at the last second, she turned her shoulder, and we just missed shoulders, but our forearms still slapped together with significant enough force that it warranted a turnaround. Okay? Now, I know most of you guys drive, so I will break down pedestrian etiquette really quickly in New York City. This is the deal. If you're walking down the street in New York, right? You're walking, and if you just sort of brush sleeves with somebody, you don't have to stop. You can just look over your shoulder. Hey, sorry, man. My bad. Have a nice day, right? Then there's the next level. Moves up a little bit. You're walking down the street. You actually bump into somebody. You actually have to turn around. Sorry, didn't see you. Little dojo bow. My bad. Whatever you have to do, my sensei, to keep it from escalating. And then there's the last one. You're just walking down the street, and you hit so fucking hard, you got to turn around and go like old school Dustin. Huh? So I turn around to have this confrontation And let me tell you something. She never looked back. And I'm not going to lie to you. That bugged me. That bugged me for like 3 days. 3 days, I'm just walking around New York, just fucking goddamn fucking bullshit. There's no fucking way you didn't do that on purpose. Who does that? Who drifts, you know? And I'm feeling this anger. It's just burning me up, and I know eventually it's gonna settle in my chest, and then one more time it's gonna be, I'm sorry, Dada, I'm sorry. It's like, I can't do this. I can't do this to my daughter, I can't do this to my kids. So I started reading up on anger. Like how to let go of shit, I think is what I Googled. And I found empathy. If you have empathy for somebody, you put yourself in their shoes, you can just, figure out where they're coming from, where you're coming from, you can meet in the middle. So I said, all right, here we go. Let me put myself in her shoes. What would cause somebody to accidentally drift into your lane twice? So I just started throwing shit on the wall. Oh, here we go. Did she have a club foot? No. Did she just have a stroke? Did she have Bell's palsy of her left side? Was she a mummy? Did she have a wooden leg? Is she one of those, those fucking diagonal walkers? You get behind them at the airport, they're walking too slow. You try to go around to the right. They start dragging their suitcase over there. You go over to the left. They're coming back this way. It's like they just got off a ship. And everything was just like, no, cut! Right? And I'm still mad. I'm still fucking mad. So I said, I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. Lied to myself. Said I didn't give a fuck, So then I ended up going home. And I'm home and I'm washing the dishes, which is a very Zen-like thing to do. It's like a week later. You wash dishes, you're not thinking of anything. Your brain is empty. I'm washing the dishes, and then all of a sudden, the answer just came to me. It just floated into my head. And I just looked up. I was like, oh my God. I know why she did it. I know why she bumped into me. She bumped into me because she's a lesbian. I mean, it was right there. I was like looking 9 miles down the street, looking under shrubs. It was right in front of my face. She did it because she's a lesbian. All right, so judging by most of your silence, I will do this math for you. Come on. Let's have a little empathy here. Put yourself in a lesbian's shoes. All right? Who do lesbians date? Women. Who do they move in with? Women. Who do they get in relationships with? Women. Who do they eventually marry? Women. And I was thinking like, oh my God, I did that. I know what the fuck that's like. I know what it's like to live with one of those fucking things. I know exactly what that's. It's hopeless. Trying to make them happy. Hey, I bought you the shiny thing. Did I do it right? Huh? Trying to get them to take responsibility for their actions. Not gonna happen. The best you're gonna get is I'm sorry, but.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Burr.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you. For Christ's sake. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I'm running out of ways to say thank you. For Christ's sake. How's it going? Excellent. Was in a shitty mood today, man. I was watching TV. You ever been in like such a bad mood that even when you're watching bad shit happening to people, you're like, you know what? Good. I'm glad your life sucks. Makes me feel better about my own. No, you know what I was doing? I was watching this, those Fabulous Lives? I was watching the Fabulous Life of the Olsen twins, They're like 18 years old. They're like zillionaires. We got a great apartment. It's making me feel like a loser. Then halfway through it, I find out one of them's anorexic. I was like, you know what? All right. That makes me feel better. I'm glad she's not eating. Hope you pass out, whack your head off your golden sink. Just to add to my day. I don't get how the other Olsen twin only weighs half a pound more, but she's fucking fine. No, they're so starving, they're weak. That's why whenever they take a picture of them, you ever notice they gotta like fucking lean them up against each other? So like they don't tip over, like they're like still trying to look sexy.
sexy. They look like aliens. Yeah, man, you can't weigh 42 pounds and have your eyeballs be 28 of that weight and not look like you're from outer space. Like, when I look at them, I think if E.T. was going to have a threesome, those are the two bitches he'd hook up with. He would. He'd get that glowing finger going. Now, I'm feeling like a loser, man. I am, man. I'm fucking 36. I'm not married, you know? I'm at that age where everybody I know is getting married. You know, let me ask you a question. Why the hell do people keep getting married? You know, isn't anybody looking at the stats? I mean, what's it like? 1 out of 2 marriages goes right down the shitter? People, if you were going skydiving and they told you half the parachutes weren't going to open, you'd be like, yo, fuck that. I'm not going. Yeah. No, it's like, I don't like those odds. I get a 50% chance of splatting on the ground. I'm not doing it, right? But there's something about getting married. People just have to do it. They're just like, is this the line to lose half my shit? Awesome. This is going to be great. I can't wait to lose my car, my money. Oh, look, the line's moving. One step closer to my own personal hell. No, I don't think I could ever get married, man. Married dudes freak me out. Anytime you ask a married guy, what's it like being married, they always tell you it's good, but they always have a look on their face like they have like an appendicitis. You ever notice that? You're like, dude, what's it like being married? Like, you know, it's good. It's good. It's, no, it's good. It's enjoyable, you know. It's a lot of work, but, you know, I think when you meet that special someone, there's a connection, and I can't feel my legs. Let me just lean over here. You know, a woman completes a man, and some other metaphor. No, you know what freaks me out too, really? When you go into a man's house, there's nothing in there, a married guy's house. When you walk in there, there's nothing in there that even suggests a man even lives there. It's all potpourri and throw pillows, that stupid canopy, we live in a dollhouse bullshit over the bed. Where does all the guy's stuff go? They just throw it out, they just walk into your apartment. Oh my God, look at all your stuff. All your stuff is stupid. Look at all this stupid stuff. Wow, guys buy really stupid stuff. Hey, you want to go to the candle store? Let's go to the candle store. Wouldn't that be awesome? I've been dragged into that nightmare for like an hour and a half, 90 minutes just sitting there. This smells like a pumpkin. Doesn't that smell like a pumpkin? This looks like a Christmas tree. Wouldn't that be great? Smell like Christmas in the apartment? Middle of the summer, just fuck with your whole reality? No, you know what it is? I didn't have like a really good model necessarily, like growing up. Like watching my parents, they always used to argue and shit, you know? Like I was afraid of my dad when I was growing up, you know? Anybody have a dad like that? You're just afraid of him? You know? Not like those sitcom dads, they come home, the kids are like hugging their legs. My dad pulls in the driveway, me and my brother's freaked like, fucking dad's home. Shut off the TV, try to hide. Dude, if I stand like this, do I look like a lamp? He won't see me, right? Can I just fucking chill out here? He wasn't understanding. When you fucked up, he told you. He didn't sit down, well, we're going to work it out. We'll just, you know, I still love you. He looked, what the fuck is wrong with you? Jesus Christ, you're an idiot. Weren't you even paying attention? Oh, bullshit. Christ, you're just like your mother. You're fucking out to lunch. That was my dad. No matter what he was bitching about, somehow he would make it about my mother. It would have nothing to do with her. He could somehow find a connection and spin it back. He'd have said, oh, is it raining out? Oh, for Christ's sake, I don't need this shit. Christ, it's the same goddamn thing with your mother. That woman is a fucking cloud hanging over my life. Anytime you got an idea, Christ, she shits all over it. No, he was hilarious. He used to work all the time, so he didn't really have like any friends or anything. So he used to talk to me when I was 8 years old like I was a fucking bartender. Just dumping all his shit on me. Like playing in the sandbox, he'd be coming up there. I'll tell you, I don't know what the fuck I ever got married for. I'll tell you, man, I'm going to get the fuck out. I swear to God. One of these days, when I get in the car, I'm going to fucking drive out of here. Your mother's a bitch, Billy. Do you realize that? The woman is a fucking bitch.
Is that too real for you guys? You fucking know what I'm talking about. I will get married, you know. I was making that. I'll definitely get married someday, you know. I love women and everything. I'm just finding I'm not, like, compatible with them. You know what I mean? You ever just feel that? Like, women have, like, too much energy for me. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have a day off when you have a girlfriend. You ever notice that? It's almost like they see that open day. They're like, oh, my God, let's go fill it up with shit. No, then they just come at you with one horrible idea after another. Horrible ideas. Like, you want to make some sandwiches and go to the park? You want to go to the container store, get some containers for your T-shirts? This is the worst one. You ever get this one? You want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! But you can't say that, right? You gotta keep them happy. So what do? You agree. Like, yeah, let's go to brunch. What a great idea. Why would you want to sleep in on a Sunday when you can go pay $18 for eggs? Now you're thinking. Now you're thinking. Then we can sit around and listen to your friends have moronic conversations about the eggs. Like, is that pesto? Is that pesto in your omelet? Oh, it's asparagus. It's asparagus. I thought it was pesto. Oh, you just want to flip the whole fucking table over? It's horrendous. I'm trying to learn to pick my battles when I date girls. I usually argue with women all the time, man. I'm stupid like that, you know? Like, I dated this girl one time. She was, like, really into, like, women's issues. So we used to always have these dumbass arguments. Like, one time she came up to me and she goes, okay, explain this to me, Bill. Why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job, huh? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink, for some fucked up reason, you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay. Yeah, that's why I get the $1 more an hour. Well, think about it. If there's a house fire, it's always women and children first. I got to stand there with, like, the back of my shirt on fire going, let's go, people, let's go, let's go. So that's how I look at it. No, it's $1 an hour surcharge. That if something fucked up happens, either I can't leave or I got to, like, get in the way of it to give you a head start, like, rabid dog, run, honey, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. You hear a bump in the night, I got to go check it out, like, yes, he does have a knife. Anytime there's a hostage situation, who do they negotiate for first? Well, at least let the women and children go. Well, what about me? Bullets hurt me, too. Why the fuck do I got to stay in the vault? No, that's my point, man. Where are all the feminists in those situations? You know what I mean? You can't find them. There are no feminists in a house fire. That's a guarantee. You could take the most hardcore feminist, some chick right in your face, like, he's chauvinistic son of a bitch, little short, little haircut, the whole 9 yards, right? Second those flames break out, she's gonna twist those little hairs into pigtails. No, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. And leave you standing in a burning house like you're not flammable. You know, but I'm not a dick, though. I'm not saying I think a woman should make $1 less an hour to do the same job. All I'm saying is if you're going to make what I make when the boat sinks, you better be standing right there next to me, listen to that guy play the cello. Then you get the corner office. You get all the benefits or whatever. So anyways, I was watching George Bush today, man. That guy scares the shit out of me. No, not because, like, all, you know, all that political stuff. He's just, like, too into Jesus for me. I get uncomfortable with that. When people get, like, overly religious, it kind of freaks me out, you know? You know what I mean? Like I don't mind. I don't mind when, like, black people get really into Jesus, though, you know? Because, like, somehow, like, the shit stays spiritual. You know, you get a couple of good songs out of it. You know what I mean? People look like they're having a good time. Somehow when, like, white dudes get too into Jesus, all of a sudden, like, shit catches on fire.
People start dying. Somebody says they're Jesus, and they try to fuck every chick in the compound. Then the FBI's got the place surrounded. That tank comes in, shooting the flames out the front. And I'm not saying white dudes are any more crazier than black dudes. It's just that nobody's watching us. That's the problem. That's too much freedom. It's kind of like living alone. You know, that same kind of fucked up freedom? You ever feel when you live alone, you like slowly go crazy? You know, because you got too much freedom, because everybody does crazy shit. But when you live alone and start doing something crazy, there's nobody there to be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? What is wrong with you? What is that? Put it down. My girl's actually, she's really like religious. She goes to church every week, and I never go, and it freaks her out. She's like, why don't you go to church? You don't believe in God and heaven and hell and all that stuff? Why don't you go? And it's not because I don't believe in a higher power. I definitely do. My thing is, when I go to church, I can't get past the fact that I'm just listening to some fucking guy. You ever think of that shit when you go in there? That's just some dude. And people are like, no, that's a special guy. No, it isn't. It isn't. Nah, he didn't like levitate down from the ceiling like, oh, this white light around him. Why would you listen to another human being tell you where you're gonna go when you die? It's just like, dude, have you ever been dead? No. Great. So wouldn't it be safe to assume that you wouldn't have the slightest fucking idea what you're talking about? Yeah, you're making it up. You're making the shit up. You're not fooling me with the robes and the candles. Speaking in old English. He said it under you is. Shut the fuck up. You don't talk like that. You're just some guy. Your name's Jerry. You played soccer. You got your ass kicked in gym class. And now you're doing this. Acting like you're special. I can't do it. I can't get past that fact. I'm sitting in church. This guy's name's fucking Cliff. He's fucking boring. And just break the guy down, and then I can't listen. It's like, you go in there, you listen to another human being tell you what to eat and when to eat it. Don't eat meat this Friday. If you eat meat this Friday, you are going to hell. It's like, dude, I'm going to a cookout on Friday. If you eat that fucking cheeseburger, buddy, that is it for you. Who is this guy? Dude, I'll eat a cheeseburger whenever I want to, and I'll jerk off. It's my dick. Why am I listening to this guy? I'll fucking jerk off while I eat a cheeseburger. What do you think about that? I'm not hurting anybody. Why would God care? I'm not hurting anybody. Think about it. You eat a cheeseburger, that's protein. That's good for your muscles, right? And I don't know about you guys, but after I rub one out, I'm more relaxed. I'm less likely to lash out at my fellow man. I'm in a great space mentally. I don't have any road rage. I talk to telemarketers. I'm buying the shit. I think they just make it all up. But it's weird, though, because I'm kind of feeling this thing, because I haven't been to church in a while. I'm kind of feeling like, I want to go back, but I need a new religion, man. That's why I'm kind of between religions right now. Like, I used to be Catholic, but, I can't be Catholic anymore, I mean, once they started fucking the kids, I was just like, all right, dude, you know what? I'm out, okay? You guys party way too fucking hard for me, okay? I got off at about 22 exits ago. I didn't see that page in the book. I don't know what you guys are doing. I can't believe they're still in business. People are still showing up. Name one other business that could survive that shit. You think if they were fucking kids at Walmart, they could sell rakes the next day? And just try to play it off like, yeah, we hit a little prom in aisle 8, but, we got some slacks over here. We got kitchen appliances. We got some hula hoops. You guys saw the Pope died? You saw that, right? Yeah. Everyone's flipping out, man. I thought that was a good thing. I was, happy for him, man. He was in horrible health. You know what I mean? Everybody just wanted the guy to keep hanging on. It's ridiculous. They're, wheeling him from room to room, and people are still flipping. Oh, God, I think he's going to die. I think he's going to die. I'm so... It's like, well, I think he's going to go to heaven. I mean,
It's got to be better than that shit. I bet the last 2 months of his life, he was just sitting in that chair going, God, I wish the world would stop praying for me. Just fucking let me go. Good Lord. I skied till I was 78. I had a great life. Move on. So they got a new pope now. They picked another old white dude, you know. And they were actually in the running was this black dude from Nigeria, right? They were actually considering making him the pope. And I was kind of hoping he was going to win, you know. Not because I give a fuck either way. I just wanted to see all the black comics doing bits like the next day, like, oh, white people scared now. White people is scared now. Yeah, the pope is black and shit. It's going to be a whole different story. He's going to come in with the hat to the side. Music's going to be pumping. White people in the front row, gee, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Because when black people go to church, couldn't you just feel it? That was like a half-hour material that went out the fucking window the second they picked another white dude. It was endless. Pope mobile's going to be pimped out, and you better not be shooting at this pope. The black pope will be shooting back at your ass. Because when white people get shot, etc., etc. Actually, I have this black dude moved in my building, man. Lives on the same floor as me. He's one of these dudes. Every time he's hilarious. Every time he says some shit, right after he's done saying the shit, he repeats like the most important part of like the previous sentence. It's hilarious. Everything he said will be like, yo, my man came in, he put that shit on the table. Put it on the table! It's hilarious. Everything he says. Yo, this country's at war, son. War! I'm just looking at my friend like, dude, did you hear him the first time? Because I heard him the first time. I was smiling, I was nodding. Am I fucking supposed to do that? I mean, what am I supposed to do? Actually, I got a couple of friends of African persuasion. And I got to get rid of them, man. I got to admit to you. I'm finding I'm spending too much money on clothes hanging out with them. Because I got to, like, fucking try to keep up with their wardrobe. It's like every time they go out, they got all brand new shit on. All brand new shit. So when I show up with my white version of brand new, which is, you know, I ironed the shit, right? I ironed it, right? It's new. They just start trashing me. I can't keep up with them, man. They got like fucking 58 pairs of sneakers. Ever notice that shit? Like every color fucking Timberland? And I don't give a shit what fucked up color their shirt is. They got a pair of shoes to match it and a hat. It's like a rule or something. They're the worst. Even when you wear some new shit, there's like some sort of rule that you gotta like space out the amount of time within which like that you wear it. Because God forbid you wear the same shirt within a 10-day period, one of them's gonna notice. All of a sudden just look at you funny like, this motherfucker's got the same shit he had on last Tuesday. And then the whole crowd's like, oh shit! Then everybody just starts making fun of your fucking clothes. First they do the math, like, what was that, 5 days ago? 5 days? This motherfucker got 5 shirts! He got 5 shirts! And they start breaking it down. Yo, his first shirt be saying Monday, next shirt be saying Tuesday. Yo, on the weekend, he ain't been wearing no shirts. I'll tell you, it's actually funny. You know what? That's actually how I judge black guys now. When I first came to the city, like, all black people scared me. No, I was like the typical white dude from like the suburbs, you know what I mean? Had no frame of reference, you know? So my only frame of reference with black people was like, remember those early 90s gangster rap videos? Throw the fucking LA riots in there, man. It was fucking horrible PR. I'm watching the videos, look, he's got a nice car, he's got all the women, and he's still fucking mad. These black dudes are never happy. But after 10 years of living in the city, this is how I narrow it down. Whether a black dude scares me or not. Black dudes with dirty sneakers scare the fucking shit out of me. No. I figured out in my head, because I know from hanging out with them, that's the last shit that they're going to let go. The immediate shit that they have on. So I think, you know, if his sneakers are fucked up, that means his life is fucked up. Every time he leaves his building, the whole neighborhood, oh, shit!
Everyone starts making fun of him. He's on the train in a bad mood. I kind of have this howdy-doody, kind of mug me kind of face. Now, I'm not saying something's going to happen. I'm just saying, I'm paying attention. So I've been seeing this girl recently, this black girl, right? She lives up in Harlem, you know, gone out like 3-4 times, you know. First time we hung out in like the Village area in New York, you know, which is sort of like a racially mixed area. So shit was cool, you know what I mean? Second time we hung out was more like Midtown, you know. Then the third time, she called me at like 3:30 in the morning, and she wanted me to come up to her apartment, right? So it's 3:30 in the morning, she lives in Harlem, I look how I look, so it's a fucking situation. Yeah, because you know the deal, right? Basically, a white dude feels comfortable up to about like 98th, 99th Street, you know what I'm saying? The second the streets start getting into like triple digits, like 100, 101st Street, start getting like a little asthma, like, oh, fuck, it's starting to get a little high up here. You feel that little tightness in your chest? Can you feel that? 106th Street, you're like leaning on shit, like, dude, where'd all the cabs go? How come there's no taxis up here? Dude, what's a bodega? I don't know what that is. Let's get the fuck out of here. So I'm praying to God she's going to tell me to take the subway, get off at like 105th Street, 103rd, you know, which is like the first stop in Harlem where I can still look over my shoulder and see like all the white people like disappearing over the horizon, you know? But she goes, no, man, you want to get on the Uptown 2-3 train, you want to get off at 125th Street. I'm like, God, fuck, 125th Street. Jesus Christ, that's like right in the middle of everything. I'm going to be surrounded on all four sides. I can't fucking do this. So, at this point, I'm really trying to hide like the bitchy tone that's starting to creep into my voice, you know? And I'm trying to ask for really specific directions for when I get up there, because I want to know exactly where I'm going. So she starts naming the streets I have to go down, and every other street up there is named after like a black leader, you know? She's like, make a left on Adam Clayton, take a right on Frederick Douglass. I'm like, God, fuck Adam Clayton. Yo, dude, go on the internet, look up Adam Clayton. Did he kill a bunch of white people during the slave revolt? Dude, I ain't going up there till I know what Adam Clayton did. Fuck this shit. So at this point, I'm really having a battle with myself. Because I'm thinking I can't do this, right? I'm like, I can't do this, but my dick's going, no, come on, man, we can do this, all right? Just relax. Pull yourself together and get on the goddamn train, right? So as always, I listen to my dick. Oh yeah, I get on the train. By the time I get up there, it's like 5 or 4 in the morning, right? I'm staying on like Malcolm X and like Danny Glover or some shit, right? I don't even know where the hell I'm at. But I see the street I want to go up. I want to go up St. Nick. I can literally see her apartment building, but there's like 5 or 6 black dudes standing right on the corner, right where I want to walk by. So I'm like, fuck! I thought I was on like some reality show at that point, like some sort of like white guy survivor. It was ridiculous. So I'm thinking, I gotta walk right by these guys, right? You know what's funny? I think that they were actually more surprised to see me than I was scared, you know? And I was really, really scared, you know, but I'm also really, really white, you know? Like shockingly Caucasian. You know what I mean? Like if you're not ready for me, I can like surprise you. No, especially if you live up there. You've probably seen a white person for hours, possibly days. So when I show up, it's almost like magical. Like a leprechaun came out of nowhere, you know? Felt like I should have had like a little pot of gold, like a rainbow behind me. Top of the morning to you, like it. Kind of danced my way past them. But it's been going all right, you know? Once I get in her apartment, I'm fine, you know? I relax. Sit down, you know, watch a hip-hop countdown. Pretend like I know the groups, you know what I mean? It's just getting there that's a fucking pain in the ass. But, you know, I don't get mad at it, because I figure, you know, black dudes got to go through the same shit, though, right? When you go out to the suburbs, go fuck a white girl, right? Just that same awful feeling of just leaving your people behind, you know, just less and less of you as you're fucking driving out there. Probably start off lean and you're all fucking cool. 20 minutes in, you're driving like 10 and 2. The radio's off. Like, dude, I don't like this shit. I don't like this shit at all. There's too much grass. I don't see any rims.
This is fucked up. None of the windows are tinted. I can clearly see white people in every car. This is fucked up. Listen, you guys were awesome. Thank you so much for coming out. God bless you. Thank you very much. All right, man. Take care. Thank you.